Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Yahuwah hath brought forth our righteousness. Come, and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahuwah our Elohim. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. Yahuwah hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahuwah, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for Yahuwah hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. Yahuwah of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, Surely I will fill thee with men, as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. He hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heaven by his understanding. In May of 2013, we called for a 3-day fast and prayer time for America. Immediately upon entering into prayer, I started to see things unfolding before me. The urgency of what I saw was clear. We do not have much time. As I rested before Yahuwah, I received this vision and insight by the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, in the form of an open vision. Unlike other visions I had had in the past, this one was very movie-like, and parts are very vivid in my mind as I recorded it and as I retell the story today. What I saw was really dark and hard to process. The America we once knew was all but gone. There will be no saving what we know as America today. I saw cities that were very dark, as if the power were completely out. The only thing still running was a special train that was powered by some form of alternative power. I sensed the evil that was keeping the cities dark was meant to cause the death of millions of people. People were dying of everything from disease to toxic fumes to violence. Society was disintegrating, and no one seemed to care. The dead bodies were everywhere, but not for long. There were what I call slaves who were charged with picking up the dead. Dead bodies were being put into containers that looked like large Tupperware containers. The bodies were then loaded on the train. As I yielded to watch the vision, I saw where they were taking the bodies. There was a river of fire that looked like volcanic lava flow, and they were dumping the containers from the train directly into this river of lava. Upon impact, the containers and all the contents were vaporized in such a way that there were no trace of anything left. The cities were essentially abandoned, and those who picked up bodies did so every day, it seemed, in this vision. I saw a very smoky, dark haze over the landscape, like there was much that had burned, but I did not see any fires actually burning. I saw great conflict erupting within the government military as they fought one another. Some within the military were resisting the government, and there was a lot of fighting going on in the distance. There was an outbreak of conflict between factions within the military and the carnage was extensive. I saw military people in what looked like some type of robotic exoskeleton that gave them seemingly superhuman strength. And they were hunting resistance fighters and armed groups using some type of technology that seemed to be able to detect weapons. And when they would find a group with weapons of a certain type, they would attack mercilessly until no one in the group was alive. The elderly were completely abandoned. Most were not corralled or detained. I remember this surprised me a little. Instead, they were left to die on the surface. The Spirit showed me underground cities that were completely self-sustaining, where some who were selected were allowed to live to escape what was going on the surface. These cities were vast and had everything from underground farming, power, water, and supplies. It was all very organized and systematic. I saw in the Spirit that a deal had been made, and I saw the words America neutralized, as if to say, cease to function as a nation as we once did. The difference between life on the surface and beneath was stark. The uniforms of the armed militia or military was foreign to me. I had never seen anything like it. I saw people willing to do anything just to have a chance to live underground. There was a horrible fear and panic, and the stench of smoke and toxins was covering the earth. I saw groups being led to safe places by the Holy Spirit, and the world was much quieter than I thought it would be. The survivors were those who learned to listen. Here the Spirit began to give me prophetic instruction. The gifts will become more acute in Yahuwah's people. The prophetic ability to know things will mean the difference between life and death and avoiding fatal confrontations. I saw people who were gathering quietly in safe places, but were very quiet. It was like no one wanted to draw any unnecessary attention. The groups with any kind of carnal weapons were hunted down. I saw this plainly. The soldiers in mechanized suits were ignoring other groups as they pursued those that were armed. I got the impression that they expected those on the surface to just die, so they were not concerned with those above ground except armed people for some reason in this vision. The Holy Spirit showed me that He had made people impervious to the toxins, and the poisons were not hurting them, but it was very difficult upon all nevertheless. The agenda seemed to be to just let people die or kill themselves off. I was a little shocked by this strategy, and yet I realized how much more evil it was. Those who were living underground were considered special or chosen. They were the elite. Those on the surface were expendable and were not special or chosen to participate in what I sensed was called the replenishment or something like that. Anyone attempting to enter the underground cities without clearance was killed or enslaved in some way. To be on the surface was to be cut off from all communication, society, news, and all the trappings of normal life. It was pure survival.